The new year brings a new conservation incentive program from Game and Fish. We've got news on another poultry facility shutting down in Arkansas and much more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
We're back.
We are back.
It's been a while.
It feels like it has been.
Yeah, convention was the last time we were all three together.
Really? Is that?
Well,
yeah, I guess so.
In this capacity.
Yeah. Yep. We've and I'll tell you, I think it may be the last time for the year.
Forever?
Yeah, no. Well, not yet.
Okay.
We may get some.
Yeah, we
bad
haven't
news
been, we
over
haven't
the
been
holidays.
canceled
That would
yet.
have been bad news at Christmas.
Man, yeah, it's Friday. We're a day late this week, but there's
Yeah.
been a lot going on. I'm telling you guys, I thought that once we got past sort of farm family, for the PR department, once we got past farm family, it would be slow. And I mean, man, it's no signs of slowing down.
It's one of the best lies we ever tell our new employees is that, it slows down for 2 weeks. We just got a new hire, Justin Roten, here in our PR department. And we've been telling him, it'll be slow the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's not going to be slow.
No,
I don't think so.
We're just really pushing an agenda that's not actually true.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like my previous jobs before I came to Farm Bureau, if farmers weren't farming, we weren't working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like it's the opposite here when most of our members are out working. So, I'll probably just use row crop as an example.
Sure.
So if it's plant season or harvest season, we're kind of slow in the office. But when they're out of the field, we pick right back up. It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
Our downtimes are different than what they used to be.
Speaking of you using row crop as an example, we had
Livestock's going nonstop. So
yeah, you're right. We had Dan Wright last week on for that deep dive episode.
How was that?
And I told him that we get criticism sometimes for being two row crop guys on this show. And you know what he said?
What's that?
Well, number one, you didn't listen to the episode, so
I was saying that.
You need to fix that.
Yeah.
No, you know what he said? He said, sometimes y'all make me want to scream at the radio.
Come on, Dan. We try.
I told him, I was like, well, we are learning. We are learning more about livestock poultry production.
We got some livestock lined up for today.
Yeah, we do. I just thought that was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, you guys do a really great job. I think he had fun on the show.
Yeah, I think that was one of our better deep dive episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that, but
but
I genuinely do think it was a good one.
Yeah,
I was kind of jealous. I wish I could have done it, but
yeah, he did a great job. And like I said, we had some fun, learned some things about Dan that I didn't know. I didn't know that he was a siding. He installed siding for like many years.
Yeah,
and was just kind of a farmer on the side. I thought that was fascinating. And he's from Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, he's originally from Texas,
an original Arkansan. So. Anyway, that episode is out there. Of course, it's deep dive, so it's audio only. So y'all go check that out. It'll be in the feed today, I believe, which is our sort of bi-weekly newsletter that wraps up all the content we produce here. Yep. It's out there for you. Other than that, have y'all had a pretty good week?
I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but if you can't tell by how I sound, I've had a rough 2 weeks.
you have.
Cold just been that. I guess that's why we weren't here last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I'm on the up and up. I'm on the mend.
You sound better than you did. I'll tell you that. So I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Just in time for the holidays.
Yeah. The throat doesn't hurt anymore. I don't have the cough really. It's just kind of a little bit more congestion, but we're going to fight through it.
Yeah.
For the Bureau.
Matthew, been doing okay?
Yeah, buying a house. So that's
congratulations.
Congratulations,
it's a whole pile of stress.
Yeah, so. Here in town?
I'm going to be a Dogtown boy.
Oh,
yeah.
We recruited him.
The podcast is going to be Levels are swaying. It's going to be 3-1 now.
3/4 Dogtown. How about that?
Man, we need to.
We'll get you over there.
I'm glad to hear the riffraff's getting out of town.
Find you a place. I think we said that. I should say.
Yeah.
That when we came back around Christmas, that we were going to maybe talk about Christmas movies. And I'm realizing now that I did not put that anywhere in our notes. I do have a question for y'all in a few minutes. Okay. But we're gonna add a question on the fly here. Have you watched any Christmas movies this year?
Not well. I caught a clip of a Christmas movie last night when I got home.
Yeah.
My wife was watching it. I do not remember what it was.
Hallmark movie, maybe?
I don't think it was a Hallmark movie, but kind of in that genre.
Yeah.
No, I have not watched it.
It's December 15th. I don't know that I've seen one all the way through.
This is a great question.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to my question, which is, if it's December 15th, you have 10 days, and if your time only allowed for one Christmas movie,
Home Alone
in there.
Ooh.
Home Alone every time.
Yeah. I actually went and watched, it wasn't that Netflix, like how these movies were made special on Home Alone, but it was in that vein. I watched that last night on YouTube, and that movie is still, it's amazing that movie was even a little bit of a success.
Yeah. The one we always have to watch in our household, it's my wife's favorite. I can't remember the name of it. It's with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, Four Christmases.
Four Christmases.
Is that it?
It's pretty funny.
That was on in my house yesterday.
Elf is a classic.
Yeah. That's the one. I've watched Elf so far this year, and that's it.
I guess I did watch Elf, but it was like maybe on Thanksgiving.
And then the classic A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna
Miracle
shoot your
on
eye
34th Street.
Ew, that's a little...
Yeah.
Whoa.
You don't like that one? Whoa.
I don't know.
Too old?
Do you cut it out? Is it because it's black and white?
No.
Okay.
I like old movies. It's just I guess I like comedy.
You don't want the serious.
No.
That one is pretty serious.
That ain't my cup of tea. But
Actually, what day was it? Kind of rainy. Saturday or Sunday, we watched White Christmas. My kiddo she likes White Christmas and Holiday Inn, those old classics. Or maybe we watch Holiday Inn. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Bill Murray Scrooge movie.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Scrooge? Or
Scrooged.
Is it? Scrooged. Yeah,
like
that
past
one's a good
tense.
one. I watched that at too young of an age. So
I'm reading A Christmas Carol. I've never read it before.
Yeah.
It's a pretty short read. I'm reading that right now.
Christmas Vacation.
Well, I was not going to say anything, but we just talked for nearly 5 minutes about Christmas movies.
Yeah, we're movie people.
And didn't bring up Christmas Vacation until the end.
I did.
Yeah, so good job. It would be a tie for me between Home Alone and Christmas Vacation, I think.
Which Home Alone? Original? Second?
Really? I think 2 is right up there.
Yeah.
I don't prefer one over the other necessarily, but I feel, as funny as it sounds, I feel weird if I watch 2 having not watched 1. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't just go home today and sit down and watch Home Alone 2 if I had not already watched Home Alone 1.
I'm like that with Mighty Ducks.
Season.
I got to watch them all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the
Woody,
story,
do you
the
have a preference?
The storyline builds. Yeah, I like the first one better. It's more classic.
Is the second one, he's in New York, right?
Yeah, and the second one has some of the, I think, better moments, the funnier moments, you know.
Sure.
But I just think the first one's the classic.
Yeah. It's amazing how I was actually listening to the Home Alone soundtrack this morning, and because it's got the John Williams score and all that, and it's amazing, like how that soundtrack sounds like it's something that's been around for 100 years when you listen to it. You know, I think it's because it's so ingrained. What year did that movie?
It's like 94
come
or
out?
Something like that. The funny story about the soundtrack though is that John Williams wasn't originally slated to score it, and they had temp music in place that was very cartoonish comedy music, you know. And then they sent the movie to John Williams just being like, well, you know, shot in the dark. Maybe he'll want to do the score and, you know, do some comedy stuff, even though that's not his style.
Yeah.
And he said, I love this movie. And then he made the score and sent it to them. And they were like, oh, my gosh, like this movie doesn't work any other way.
Yeah.
Right? The comedy music would have been a travesty.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with that sentiment. That movie was released in 90.
90. Okay, maybe the second one was like 93.
So I was 9.
So. Oh, wow. I was like 4 or 5.
I was -6.
So now that is sobering.
Not even a thought.
But I mean, that truly is one of those movies that like they didn't expect that thing to be what it was.
We used to play quote unquote Home Alone when we were kids.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You throw hot irons at your cousins and family.
Yeah, we'd watch my dad step on tacks. Nails. No, we didn't go that far. It was more just imagination.
Well, I
Poor
love
teddy
Home
bears.
Alone. I think I might have to watch it now.
Yeah,
because we've talked about it. It's so great. All right. So the other real question I had, or the question that I actually intended to ask y'all, is about gifts. So, right, we all know Christmas is about giving,
Receiving.
and that's
Gifts
what
giving.
we always. That's what we tell our kids: better to give than to receive.
that's
and so here's my question: we're going to cover both sides of this coin today. Your most memorable Christmas gift that you have received, and the most memorable that you've given.
This question
in no particular order
scares me because, like, if I say a one that I received, then I'm like not giving enough attention to these other people that gave me all these gifts.
Well, how about this?
I mean?
It doesn't have to be the most memorable. It can be a memorable gift.
You want to go?
Do you have anything in mind?
The one I've given. I guess 4 years ago, me and my sister came together and bought my dad a Komodo Joe smoking, one of those ceramic eggs.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because now every single time I go home, guess what? There's meat on the smoker. Every time my sister goes home without me, guess what? There's meat on the smoker.
That's
and guess
awesome.
what? There's a Tupperware dish full of all the extra meat coming to me. So that's a gift I gave that 100% benefits me.
Worked out for you, that's for sure.
And I mean, my dad likes it too.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Win-win.
for sure.
How about on the receiving end? Anything stick out to you?
I think there's lots of good options through the years. One that I feel like really was formative in my younger years was getting a PlayStation 2. We also got an N64, and both of those were gifts that were me and my sister both got it, and so then it became a shared thing.
Yeah.
Another good one was some Razor scooters.
Oh, yeah.
We ripped those Razor scooters all
everywhere.
The amount of times I flung that thing around and whacked myself in the shin.
I was about to say your shin.
Yeah, there's probably still dents in my bones from the Razor scooters. So very
those
formative.
are pretty good. Those are pretty good.
The best, the most memorable, like how excited I was definitely the Nintendo 64.
Really?
Yeah, I was that kid. I think everybody's probably seen that video of that kid just screaming.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
Nintendo. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Bond.
But James Bond.
Yep.
Mario 64. Mario
Forgot about
Kart.
that. Yeah.
Oh, there's all sorts of different games I had. Spent way too much time playing video games as a kid. The best I've ever given, my wife graduated from nurse anesthetist school, and it was Christmas. So I bought her like another wedding band.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm financially recovered from that yet, but it was worth it.
I don't know that you have to be.
No,
If it was worth it, it
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
That's
about
great.
you?
So giving, I'll go there first. A couple years ago, we did the Disney thing for Christmas, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was thinking about this question this morning, and I can't wait. I don't know if y'all will do Disney or not, but I think if you do, I'm telling you, as a dad, that's one of the coolest, most fun things to see their eyeballs
Their
light
excitement.
up and to do that.
How old was she when you went?
We went when she was in kindergarten.
Like 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think that was too early?
And my wife was like, it might be a little too early. Actually, she had just turned 6, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think it was right. I think it was just right. and then received. So I can't help but laugh when I think about this. It was a Christmas Eve at my grandparents, and my dad was like, "Hey, me and your mom want to give you a gift." I was probably 8.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to come outside, and I was like, "Okay." So walked outside in the backyard, and he comes spinning around on this go-kart, pulling up on this go-kart, which was, let me be very clear, was not new. Was not new. He had traded, like, he rode motorcycles, when he was single. He had traded a motorcycle, like a dirt bike, for this thing. And it was classic, like, old school, 80s, like, the muffler was hanging off and whatever.
Yeah.
But, man, we had a blast on that thing.
I bet so. You have a roll cage on it? Or just
no. It was just the old school, with
old school
with
death trap.
5 horsepower lawnmower motor on it.
Briggs and Stratton action.
Yeah. So anyway, that one was talking about excitement.
Yeah.
If I was gauging by excitement, that would probably be up there.
One that also comes to my mind. My dad got me a shotgun when I was 14. I think we've talked about this before. And I shot that shotgun until about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 37 now.
What was it?
Remington 870.
Nice.
Pump.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the classics.
I still turkey hunt with it, even though I haven't harvested a turkey.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I wish you would.
Yeah, me too.
I got a shotgun for Christmas one year too. I may have been around the same age.
Yeah.
But I remember that was a really big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, good. That was good. Good reminiscing there. Now I'm going to go home and watch Home Alone.
You got the itch.
Yeah, I got the itch now. But I guess we better cover a little bit of news here, since that is why we're here. So a couple things on the list here. Just want to give a quick shout out to two of our two newest members of the Federation staff, Justin Roten, who joined the PR team this week, Jared Garrett, who joined you all's team
Commodities.
A couple weeks ago, the Commodities team.
We finally have a full house down there now.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're in the same boat. We've got a full house, and we won't go into their bios and all that today on the podcast. But I can tell you can go to ARFB.com, read all about them. Two very qualified gentlemen who are going to certainly bring a lot to our work here.
Absolutely,
as staff. Also, a shout out to, and you probably have already seen or heard this news, but Jeremy and Megan Allen for being named the 2023 Arkansas Farm Family of the Year. That happened at a ceremony here in Little Rock a week ago today. So congrats to you guys. They were one of the 8, I believe, District Farm Families of the Year and came out on top for the state family. They'll go on to compete in the Southeast Farm Family
that's cool.
program. Yeah.
Awesome.
So anyway, Hot Spring County, I should say. But again, that release is available at ARFB.com. It'll be in the feed today as well. So if you want to catch up there, you can. And then another heads up, the 2024 Arkansas Grown Conference and Expo will be held next month, January 25th through 27th at the Hot Springs Convention Center.
City.
Anything about that? I know you kind of
I had the opportunity to be on the planning committee this year. Thank you for inviting me, Miss Karen Reynolds. We'll be doing the podcast there.
Yeah,
live.
They asked us to come back and
that
do
was
the
one of the
podcast again.
first podcasts. I think it was like the second or third one I've ever done. Was at that.
Really?
That was
makes
pretty early
sense
on into
date-wise.
your
I need
career.
to go back and watch that then.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
when
kinda
we had all
see
those
how-
crazy, whether they're true or not, facts from Jenny.
I remember that.
Oh, gosh.
We're also going to do a Farm Bureau's going to do a workshop there, kind of talking to attendees about what Farm Bureau is, what we do, difference between insurance, federation, et cetera, and how they can be involved, why they need to be involved, stuff like that. So trying to push that, and it should be a good time. It's for all those locally grown and locally made products in the state, and there'll be a lot of learning opportunities on, whether you're canning or whether you're growing tomatoes, or even I think there might be some, local beef kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they've got some really good general session speakers, et cetera, et cetera. And plus it's in Hot Springs, so it should be a good time.
Yeah, that's great. We should probably maybe talk about this on the show one day, but I did see this week that we've added 4 to the state meat inspection program this year. A couple of them we've talked about,
I've heard
Arkansas
about
State
that,
and Williams Baptist, but then there are a couple more that were not on my not on my. Well, I guess Jayco was, but there was one that was not on my radar. We should talk about that because I can only imagine that's going to expand.
I've also heard that there's some more facilities trying to get USDA inspected too.
Oh, nice,
and it's huge.
Yeah,
so
yeah. One last programming note before we move into the news here. The reason we talked about Christmas today, number one, we love Christmas, but number two, the AgCast, I think this is going to be our last show of the year. It's just we've got some holiday outages and some stuff like that. So we may surprise you, but otherwise this may be the last regular show of the year. Mm-hmm. That being said, we do have a couple of great deep dives lined up. I got to sit down and talk to Whitney Hagewood from Delta Farm Press about some of the top ag stories in Arkansas this year and farming news. And that was great. So we'll be putting out that deep dive. And then you're talking to
Dr. John Anderson.
Yeah.
The new director of U of A Extension.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. What are y'all going to talk about?
Man, I really want to dig into like where's John from and who is John? Where did he come from and how did he get to where he is today? And one thing I've always really admired about Dr. Anderson is he can walk the walk and also talk the talk. He's
That's
not
important.
He's not all brains. He's not all muscle. He can do it all. And in the academic world, you don't get that a lot. And I think he brings a lot of good perspective to Extension. And I'm pretty excited about him and his new role.
Talk about his vision and what he sees for that. Well, that's great. So be on the lookout for those. Those will be coming out in the next couple of weeks as we take a break from the show and get reset for the new year. All right. Well, we're playing catch up a little bit on news today.
A little bit.
Like we said, haven't been out a week or two. So let's just say we're gonna step back to convention a little bit and talk about the Arkansas Ag Innovation Challenge. So first up, Anvil Metals and Fabrication was the winner of the Arkansas Ag Innovation Challenge at our annual convention in Little Rock a couple weeks ago. In addition to winning the overall competition, AMF was voted as the People's Choice Award winner for its presentation during the event's trade show. AMF was founded in 2022 by Rob Connor, Cody Marcus, and Damian Schilling after Connor and his wife purchased a welding shop in Gassville. Here's a great part of their story. Rob Connor volunteers as the Career Technical Education Coordinator for Mountain Home Public Schools.
Well.
And his two co-founders there, Cody and Damian, are former students turned business partners. The AMF team has patented a tractor bucket attachment with folding forks, hay spikes, brush guards, and other tools to use on the farm and in rural areas. And it's really a cool product. If you didn't see that at convention, you should go check them out.
I saw it. It was pretty cool.
We should mention that Smart Reproduction, which is owned and operated by Brittany Scott of Jonesboro, was named runner-up in the competition. The biotech company, Smart Reproduction, collects and cryopreserves small ruminant semen and embryos for export, and we're the first exporter of its kind to hold United Kingdom and European Union export certification. 3 other finalists were recognized during the competition: HM Mobile Welding and Fabrication of Valonia, Celludot of Fayetteville, and Curate of Fayetteville. ARFB launched the Ag Innovation Challenge earlier this year in partnership with the Farm Credit Associations of Arkansas. The statewide business competition showcases Arkansas startups developing innovative solutions to address challenges facing Arkansas farmers, ranchers, and rural communities. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, cash prizes for these guys totaled $15,000. Anvil Metals and Fabrication received $10,500 in total, and Smart Reproduction earned $5,000.
Wow!
So congrats to those guys.
Good money.
Great work, and some really cool businesses being spun up here.
Yeah, I think this was a huge success, and
I think so
they're going to move forward.
Yeah, I think so
year
too.
After year.
So anyway,
well, the Game of Fish has got some news out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was actually last week, but since we weren't here, I'm going to talk about it today.
Thanks, sir.
So the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission has launched a new slate of conservation initiatives that farmers and landowners can take advantage of. Last week, AGFC announced that they received approval from Arkansas Legislative Council for a grant to launch the new 2024 Conservation Initiative or Incentive Program. The goal of the grant is to support conservation efforts across the state by offering financial assistance and incentives to private landowners who implement conservation practices to enhance wildlife habitats and water quality. January 2nd, 2023 is set as the first day of enrollment for these programs, which will be on the first-come, first-served basis. The program is set to conclude by December 2024. Arkansas Game and Fish Commission will offer 9 different programs, which combined totaled $3.5 million. I wanted to list these programs here, but for time's sake, I won't go into too much detail about them. So if you are interested in more information about these programs and how you can apply, please visit agfc.com/habitat.
Okay.
And these programs, in no specific order, winter flooded rice fields for waterfowl habitat, a total of $1 million for that program to set aside. Forest management on green tree reservoirs, another $100,000. Wetland habitat management, another $50,000. Upland hardwood and pine forest management, $200,000. Fire break establishment and prescribed burning, $700,000. Public fishing access to private waters, I thought that one was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
$50,000. Bank stabilization, another $100,000. Feral hog trapping, they're putting a focus on that, just like the federal government is. $1.2 million.
Wow.
And invasive plant control, another $100,000. So if you kind of taken a note of, a lot of this is kind of wetland habitat, but there is some forestry aspect in it, and then kind of some private-public partnership opportunities for hunting and fishing. I thought that was pretty cool, and addressing the feral hog issue across the state.
Yeah.
Also should mention that Tyler Oxner also wrote an Ag Insider, who's in our department, giving more detail about these new programs. So you can also find that article at arfb.com.
Nice. And I'll tell you, I think this is ripe for a deep dive if that's helpful to folks.
Yeah, I think the Game and Fish talked about this at the convention in a workshop, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to have somebody from that workshop.
From over there.
Yeah.
If you think that would be helpful, or if you'd like to know more about one of these programs, definitely let us know one way or the other. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Let's take a short break and hear a bit about what a Farm Bureau membership can do in your community.
Your Arkansas Farm Bureau membership supports the work we do on behalf of Arkansas farmers, ranchers, and communities around the state. A $40 annual Farm Bureau membership makes a difference in your neighborhood. From youth leadership programs and academic scholarships to hunger relief and disaster support, you can make a difference and be a champion for your community. Join at arfb.com.
All right, let's jump back into the news.
All right.
I'm going to wrap up today with an important opportunity to make your voice heard on a topic we hear about quite a bit when talking to farmers. And you know we are big on this show about making your voice heard.
Absolutely.
The USDA and the U.S. Department of Energy, we'll call them DOE for the rest of the story, are hosting virtual listening sessions from January 12th to January 17th, and they're inviting input on the benefits and challenges of the rapidly increasing levels of solar and wind energy being sited on agricultural lands and in rural communities. This was a big one, I thought. The two departments noted in the announcement that as our nation's electric power demands increase, solar energy projects are forecasted to accelerate. According to a 2021 DOE study, solar energy may rise from 4% of our nation's total energy production to 45% by 2050.
Wow.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. Increasing solar generation to 45% could require, get this, nearly 10.4 million acres, with 90% expected to be sited in rural areas. This announcement also stated that some communities are concerned. This is something we know very well. We've heard this about the potential for loss of farmland, decreased home values, or impact on rural character from energy project development. USDA and DOE say that understanding and addressing these concerns is vital to ensuring that farmers and rural communities have the opportunity to make informed land use decisions. They're requesting input for a number of stakeholder groups, but there is a session specifically marked for farmers, and this is why we wanted to bring this to the show. that session will be on January 16th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Central Time. You'll have to register, and that link is really too long. I pulled it up, and it's a little too long for us to read here. So we'll include that in the show notes and the comment section on social as well, so you guys can make sure and be a part of that.
Yeah, one thing I'm concerned about with this, you take land out of production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they rezone it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to the taxes from those properties?
Mm-hmm.
Are those counties or communities going to be losing out on potential revenue for, whatever schools, and municipal buildings, et cetera, and road work and stuff like that. So that's a concern.
Yeah.
Especially in these rural areas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we've seen some of the struggle with other infrastructure projects.
Did you see where they built another giant solar array in the Little Rock Port area?
I did see that. Yeah.
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah. That one, there's a couple of them that are pretty big. I mean, not that one.
Yeah.
Others around the state that I've driven by that came from ag land.
Yeah. There's one outside of Stuttgart, I think Elmira.
Yeah.
And then down in Lake Village, McGee, there's another big one.
Yeah, definitely driving down 67 between White and Jackson County.
Yes.
There's that huge one over there too. Anyway, so DOE and USDA is taking a look at that, and please be a part of that. Again, that's January 16th. You'll have to register for it. We'll put the link out there to register, but please get out there and make your voice heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got one more story.
Okay.
Another poultry processing company is closing.
Oh, interesting.
Or already has.
Yeah.
Cook's Venture, an Arkansas-based poultry producer specializing in heirloom birds and regenerative agriculture, has closed. Since the closure, 511 employees across 8 different facilities have been laid off. However, the company does still have some contract farms across Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Okay.
Cook's Venture specialized in selling products produced from its own pioneer chicken breed, a slow-growth breed developed from heritage chicken breeds. The company, which also focused on raising its poultry using regenerative agricultural practices, was funded in 2019 by Blue Apron co-founder Matthew Wadiak. Yeah, you remember Blue Apron? Did you ever have any of those meals?
For sure.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Excuse me. The company blamed the closure on quote-unquote last-minute lack of financing for operations and has been trying to obtain financing since early September. However, farmers and employees were not notified until late November. Recently, some farmers were notified that Cooks will have their chickens euthanized, but the farmer themselves will be responsible for composting the deceased birds. Also on December 7th, 2023, in Green Forest, Arkansas, a growers' meeting was held where growers heard from many different organizations, such as the Arkansas Farmers Union, Farm Service Agency, or FSA, the Arkansas Department of Agriculture, and Brad Hendricks Law Firm, and State Senator Brian King. One takeaway from the meeting were comments from Darby Spurlock from FSA, who discussed 2 potential financial aid programs that growers might be able to take advantage of. The first is the Inflation Reduction Act, Section 22006, Extraordinary Measures Assistance. Extraordinary measures are actions taken to remain current on Farm Loan Program, or FLP, payments by monetizing long-term or essential assets, incurring additional non-FSA debt, or deferring other essential payments resulting in reduced farm and household viability. Extraordinary measures can include actions such as taking on more debt, selling property, or cashing out retirement accounts. To take advantage of this program, you must apply by December 31st, 2023, so that's coming up fast. The second program is the Cash Flow-Based Assistance Program. The purpose of the program is to provide relief to distressed borrowers with certain FSA direct and/or guaranteed loans, and to expedite assistance for those who agricultural operations are at financial risk. Deadline for this program is January 15th, 2024. Both of these programs are a part of the Inflation Reduction Act, like I said, and if the grower has already taken IRA money, they will not qualify for either one of these programs.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Information and applications can be found on the FSA website. So go there for more information than what I could give here today.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing that. And we'll just kind of, that wraps up the news, I guess. So we'll head on in. Matthew, thanks for producing today. We're glad to have you.
I'm doing a little different thing today because it's Christmas, and I always like talking about food. So my question that I'm posing is what sort of Christmas food traditions do you guys have?
Oh, that's interesting.
I can start while you guys think. One that I think is really cool that actually my girlfriend's family does is every year they choose a different theme or genre for their Christmas meal. So this year it's Hawaiian themed.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Everybody's been instructed to show up in Hawaiian shirts. And then the entire menu has been designed around Hawaiian cuisine. We're playing some actual Hawaiian games, so not, limbo and things like that have been kind of adopted by
You're going to have
our
spam
culture.
egg sushi rolls?
Yeah, and we're going to have, we're doing some sort of pork spit with and stuff. Pineapple's going to be probably all over some stuff. Anyways, and they've done Greek, they've done Japanese, they've done a lot of different cool flavors for their Christmas. And they're actually talking about, apparently, at the end of Christmas is when they vote on next year's Christmas, and they're talking about
vote.
Yeah, it's a democracy.
I love this. I love
They're
this.
organized.
And next year they're talking about throwing in some literary themes. There was Harry Potter was thrown around.
So Gold Frog or whatever. Yeah.
Sure, lots of things have been thrown around for what will be voted on for next year. But I just thought that was cool. I think, everyone loves a Christmas ham, but, you just do ham and turkey for Thanksgiving. So you got, hey, do something a little different.
Hey, I'm all about venturing, kind of switching it up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, that's it. It brings some excitement to it.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe I'll try to implement that.
Yeah.
I like that it's the full experience. It's not just the food.
It's a whole
somebody's
day
not
of it.
bringing like Hawaiian rolls to the deal. I mean, you got the shirts, the games, the food, the everything. Sounds like they're all in.
For sure.
I'd have a lot of fun with that. Where's that going to be?
Come on down. We're going to be in Charleston, Arkansas. So come on.
We'll get you a grass skirt, buddy.
I can do it.
Yeah.
You can hula your way right on down
to
there.
find some big coconuts.
Oh, me. We don't really have any food traditions.
Oh,
A matter of fact, I really feel like we're wandering in the wilderness here. We've done everything from the ham, ham side dish, whatever
you can find.
No, like
go down to KFC and get a fried chicken.
Yeah.
Like I've done prime rib before. It's like it's just we don't have anything that we. So in lieu of that, I will tell you, not a food for Christmas, but a food delivery vessel is my grandmother's classic Christmas dishware.
Yeah.
With everybody's probably seen these. They have the white. It's the white plate, and it's got the Christmas tree on it and a green trimmer.
Yeah,
I'll show you guys a picture. But anyway, that to me is like that's classic Christmas meal right there. That and I've seen it
pulling out the dishware.
Yeah, I've seen it show up several places actually this year, and folks kind of talking about it in vintage Christmas kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's my substitute since we don't really have a tradition or something like that.
Bring out the deviled eggs, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Eggs. There you go.
That is, it's got to be there. No, but both sides of the family, there's always been beef. Either it's mainly like Christmas Eve night.
Yeah.
I did a prime. I think both sides of the family, it's always filet mignon.
Yeah.
Or beef tenderloin, whatever.
Yeah.
One year, I think with my parents, I tried to do a prime rib, and it cooked it too long. But it was all right.
Yeah.
But I think, if I remember right, like on my wife's side of the family, Christmas Day, we do a traditional ham and probably a turkey or, whatever it may be. But
what about eggnog? You guys eggnog?
I don't think we have a whole lot of eggnog, but I mean, I guess that's kind of dessert maybe.
Yeah,
I did last year make a lot. I mean, I made too much. They were chocolate chip pecan smoked bourbon cookies.
All right, so you can come to Hawaiian Christmas, but you have to bring these cookies, even if they're not Hawaiian.
That's
Finger off that mute
incredible.
button
Yeah,
real
he
quick,
did,
didn't
didn't he? He's like, hold up, wait a minute.
Hold on.
But they turned out great. I cooked them on the Traeger, and but I need to make some tweaks to them. And I think this year my brother-in-law sent me a video of those one of those like flour and breakfast sausage cheese balls.
Oh,
And he was like, we got to make these. I'm like, all right, let's add those.
I will say sausage balls have got to be on them.
And we always have like a breakfast casserole thing in the morning.
Yeah,
Christmas morning.
I'll say so. The one my family has kind of adopted is the Christmas morning breakfast, and my mom has perfected monkey bread. So every day she only makes it once a year, but it's for Christmas. She'll make some monkey bread. So we come out, eat monkey bread, maybe make some eggs and bacon to go with it if you want something savory, and then it's gift opening time. So.
Yeah,
I've seen.
I like monkey bread. My wife brought that back last Thanksgiving, I think, and then she made it like 4 times.
Yeah, my father-in-law's got a Blackstone at the house, and I've been seeing videos of people making, instead of like biscuits, they're using cinnamon rolls out of the can and flatten them out on top of the Blackstone and making like sausage biscuits out of those.
I do that
I
with
may try that.
breakfast tacos on the Blackstone. Just take canned biscuits like Grands, put them on put some butter down, put them on the griddle, and then use a burger press on them and get them. They'll look like a pancake.
Yeah,
and just flip them over and get them brown on both sides. And put them in like a taco holder. Fill that thing. Yeah. Dude, those things are pretty tasty.
Stick to you?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Anyway, all right. Well, that was a good one. I know we are here. We've had a long one today, but it's our last one, by golly.
Yeah, sorry, Matthew.
We survived a year.
We did.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up.
How many episodes did I show up for? Like 7?
Oh, this is my first year. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, it has been a year, hasn't it? How about that? Well, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas iCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Yeah, remember, you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find new episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
And please make sure you subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas iCast is brought to you by Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown.
I'm John McMinn.
And for the last time this year, we'll see you next year.